out the windows. She won't pet anything. She won't look at anything. She's like, that's a camel. It's far away. I'm cool with it. A second it even gets close, she goes to the middle, so she's as far away as possible. They're basically dinosaurs, and like anything else I feel comfortable. Like if bison wants to roll the car, like I will protect my children, and then I'll get out, I will kill it, I will skin it, and I'll put it in my freezer. If the ostrich puts his head in and starts pecking at things, I'm afraid it's going to get to my eyes before I can fight back. Not okay.
I think you'll be fine. I think you can handle yourself.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I would try. You know, if it attacks me, I'm gonna fight back. But dude, it was so sketchy. So sketchy.
Ostriches are like super tall too, aren't they? Like how tall are they?
Taller than a car.
Yeah.
Because we have
way taller than a car. Way taller than a car.
I'm taller than a car.
Well, like taller than my truck. Taller than like a truck, like an SUV.
They're like 8 or 9 feet, right?
No, they're not that big.
Oh, okay. How tall is your truck?
Between 6 and 7 feet.
Okay, sorry, I don't have a vehicle.
But and we're
concept of the size of vehicles now.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall a car is, like 3 feet, something like that.
Of course, a bison can flip a car. I can pick one up.
I picked up many cars in my day. Okay, welcome to Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
Wow. So much car aggression. So much car aggression.
All right, with that, you guys want to get this thing started?
Yeah, it's about that time. Let's go.
Okay. All right. We are back.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the BFC'S. I'm very excited. We are always talking about Marvel movies because for a while we were very deprived and now we are not. So we've decided to go back through the movies in chronological order and just discuss them, which has been a very fun trip down memory road. So tonight we've got a very special guest. Oldest brother of the Fergusons and very cool guy that marries people and also DJs them or DJs whatever, it doesn't matter, it makes sense, everyone will understand, it's fun. So Aaron, what are you drinking and what's the last movie you saw?
Well, thank you, Colin. I got some water going on, got to stay hydrated. Freaking Nebraska weather, so you know what?
Hydration is key, and that's a blanket fort statement. Hydration is key.
Exactly.
Right. Thirst.
So I'm going with it. And the last movie I actually watched was with my daughter, and it was Luca.
I haven't watched that yet. Is it good?
Honestly, it's a cute movie. It's perfect for the kids. You know, just kick back, relax. You know, and if you don't got kids, still watch it. It's cool. It's a good, cute movie. I think a lot of people should watch it.
I watch Disney movies all the time by myself.
Hell yeah.
I started watching Hercules again last night because I Can Go the Distance is my all-time favorite Disney song.
Oh, such a good song.
It is a good one. It is a good one.
It's such a good song. So, yeah.
I agree.
So, all right. Well, Lance, what are you drinking? What's the last movie you've seen?
I also have water because, again, as the blanket fort is known for, hydration is key. And I also watched Luca. It's so good, guys. It's super cool. And it's all about like friendship and overcoming obstacles and not being monsters. And it's dope. And my kids love it. And anytime we can talk about sea monsters and I can tell them about the Kraken, I will take it. That works. A lot of weird conversations into sea lore that they were not expecting. Yeah. Awesome. All right. What about you, Jeff? What are you drinking? What's the last movie you saw?
I got 2 drinks tonight. I got a good old Shiner Bock, and then I have my thing of water. This is my, I don't know, probably 7th one today. So, because it is very hot and humid in North Carolina right now.
Very hot and humid everywhere. Global warming is the thing.
That is
true. Come on. Fuck. Yeah. It was the high of 95 today. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a fun experience of messing with my Jeep today because I was trying to get to the transmission, and I figured out that you can't get to my Jeep's transmission, like the dipstick. You just can't.
Why? What's in the way?
No, there's no valve, there's no anything to get to it. You have to take it into a shop, and they have to pump the transmission fluid into it because I don't know.
It's a mandatory flush because it's a Jeep and it needs all the help it can get in the tranny.
yes, it can.
Yeah,
exactly. So, last movie I watched. Well, I did watch Hercules for a little bit. Any new movies though? I don't think I have. It's been a lot of shows lately. I think I've said that the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm on that same boat.
I'm on so many shows lately. I've been watching Mythic Quest. I've been watching week to week. I've been watching Loki, which I'm absolutely loving. Dave season 2 just came out, so I've been watching that so far.
Yes.
Have you been watching it, Siege?
Yes.
It's so good. It's
so good.
I haven't started season 2 yet.
It's amazing.
Dude's a genius. Dude's a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just been a lot of television shows. I don't think I've really sat and watched any movies lately Oh, no, sorry. I was just talking to Lance about this before the stream. I watched late last night, or I should say like almost early this morning. I randomly woke up and I was just like, oh, screw it, I'll watch something. And I watched the 2016, 2017, whatever it was, Fantastic Four movie again. Oh, that movie's so bad. It could have been so good. It's so bad.
It had such a good cast.
Yes.
The cast was incredible.
It was incredible. And it had elements of it being a good movie because the original director, something Tran, I can't remember his first name, or Trax, something like that. I don't know what his name is. But he wanted to make a horror movie, basically. And it has elements of...
Horror elements, for sure.
Yes. And he had indifferences with the studio, so he ended up leaving, and they butchered his movie and made it really boring and stupid.
So you're telling me we can Into the Spider-Verse Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Or not Into the Spider-Verse, Snyderverse.
Oh, yeah, we should hashtag that all day. I would, remake his movie because, it could have been really good. Instead, we got a boring-ass movie. God, that movie,
boring.
It's so
boring. But the cast is so good, and I don't understand how it could be so boring.
Yeah.
Terrible writing.
But also, can we also hashtag me as Gambit forever?
Yes.
Can we just continue that?
Yeah.
Kevin Feige, Gambit.
Throwing it out there.
Right here.
We know the X-Men's got to be coming soon. So
your next D&D character has to have a Louisiana accent.
Oh, done. I am fucking pumped about that. Done.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Hands up. Let's go.
All right. So, CJ, what are you drinking? What was the last movie you saw?
So I'm finishing an agave water.
Nice.
From the job, left there. And the last movie I saw, I'm also on a trend of a lot of TV shows. And I wake up at like 7 a.m. each day, which is so annoying because I don't work until 11. But I get up, I work out, and I don't know. I have like a couple hours in that time where I'm just like, I'll watch something. And I keep being like, oh, I'm going to watch like a positive thing because I'm sad most days. And then I watch like Dave. Doesn't help me.
No,
all right. I watch like Black Monday. Doesn't help me.
No.
So it's I watch a lot of those shows and I'll
rewatch Ted Lasso because that is the most feel-good show ever made.
No. Just watch Luca.
I'll go with that one. Yeah.
I'll watch Luca. I want to watch Raya and the Last Dragon. That's like my main Disney movie.
That's the one.
Good movie.
Like Luca's pretty cool. Raya, legit.
That's the one I want to watch.
She's a badass.
Right,
it's dope.
so
it's dope.
The next morning,
I say Raya's first.
The next morning I wake up and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch a movie before I like get my day started. That's the one.
There you go.
for sure.
Yep.
So, but each time I choose like a new episode to watch, I'm like, well, now I'm more sad. So cool. Before we get like everything started, just want to say hi to Mom. Hello, Mom.
Hello,
Hi,
Mom.
Mom.
Hi,
And
Tina.
also hi to Tina.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Tina.
So
We're all gonna see each other soon, guys.
oh
I
my God, I'm
know.
so fucking pumped. Ah,
So excited. So excited.
So excited. I literally have 2 more days of work, and then I have to kind of go in next Tuesday, and then I'm on my way.
That's
dude,
awesome.
they didn't schedule me Monday or Tuesday next week, which I could have booked my car earlier, but cars are expensive, so I didn't. So I'm going to take my time and just like hang out here. And also, I have very cool things planned for Tuesday night. I won't get into that right now, but I'll tell you guys about them later.
Ooh.
Jeff, what movie are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we are talking about 2017's Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah.
All right.
It's a movie that was made again for the
Again.
Dude,
rebooted for the 3rd time.
I feel like I want to like come out the gate with just the fact that this wasn't an origin movie.
Yes, which
I totally appreciate and I think is totally necessary.
Of all Spider-Man, like I don't know, knowledge, he's the most well-known superhero in the MCU.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how Spider-Man came to be.
Yeah,
everyone knows.
Anybody and I guarantee like somebody's grandma knows who Uncle Ben is and Mary Jane and just all that stuff. Like everybody knows. Like
Uncle Ben, like the rice guy. Got it.
Uncle
I
Ben,
figured
the
that's
rice
what you're
guy.
talking about.
Yeah, Jasmine Rice is so good.
Can't forget him.
There's a good joke there somewhere. There's a good joke there. I don't know where it is, but it's there. Yeah.
I think it's the right move to start again because we've seen it all, and in the past, like these origin story movies for the MCU haven't always been the most successful.
Yeah, and especially, yeah, exactly. They really haven't. We've done, we've covered it. Like the safe ones, we've pretty much was Ant-Man, very safe, movie. Yeah. We just talked about Doctor Strange. Just very safe origin movie. Not a lot to it.
And like my go-to is Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the Captain America movies, the first one is my least favorite.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
It's the most origin story of all of the origin stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it had to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. I agree. And this
Yeah.
didn't have to be, and I think they made the right choice.
Yeah, and I think they needed to with Cap because Cap and Tony carried the franchise. Like those two carried the MCU for so long. So like it was really important to establish like who he is and where he comes from. We've seen that with Spider-Man, which I don't know if Sony and Marvel's plan is to kind of have Spider-Man sort of carry the MCU a little bit, to kind of step up in that leadership role. It's kind of how they're setting him up.
Yeah.
But we all know it. Everybody knows
it.
So it's like it's not that.
Which I have my own thoughts of what I think is going on, and I know we will get there. I'm going to save that because it's going to work out.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways it could happen though, and I have my own theories.
Do we want to get into the history of Spider-Man being one of the most like prevalent characters in the MCU?
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was, that was, good Lord, Stan Lee's like baby right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally thought of it while he was working. I don't believe he was working at Marvel yet, but he said he would sit in his office and just, look at the city, and he just thought about like how cool it would be to see a guy just swinging through, New York. And I mean, come on, it's the best city in the world to set up something like that.
Yeah.
It's known for big skyscrapers and things of that sort. So
it's a pretty cool city. I just want to say it's a pretty cool city.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I don't know if I live here or not, but it's a pretty cool city.
Yeah.
So no, go ahead.
And I think, like, I mean, yeah, it's cool to see all that, but I think, I mean, one of the biggest reasons that he was so successful and so popular in his heyday is because he was one of the first superheroes to have a fucking job. Like, the dude had a day job. He had bills to pay. He was struggling.
Yeah,
and still would take his
out.
time and do the extraordinary and decide to do the right thing, even though he never had to. He could have used his powers to, like, just make his life even that much easier and try to make some money and do some things. But
and balance a relationship.
Like absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was like the most real of all comic book characters at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's definitely like you know, DC, I've always said, is had a hard time of making characters that people relate with. You know, we all want to be Superman, we all want to be Batman, but Marvel is really good at making characters that you can relate with and that you can see yourself as. And Spider-Man is like, he's the poster child of that.
100%. Like, I even living in this city, I'm like, if I could be anyone, Spider-Man would be fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so cool. I also got bit by a spider last summer, and I really thought maybe I would get powers, and then instead I got a skin infection, and it looked like I had leprosy.
Yeah.
So I got no powers.
Yeah.
I got no powers.
You got antibiotics. Is what you got.
I got antibiotics.
Like, no powers. You got antibiotics.
I got an antibiotic that I was allergic to, and then I got like a real one that was good.
Yeah.
So. No, I'm still hopeful for that.
Yeah.
You know,
just delayed reaction.
Yeah, you know, maybe like I'll just be real strong tomorrow. I'm already real strong, but like maybe I'll be like real strong tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. We'll throw it out there and see what happens.
Hopefully.
So Spider-Man like really was super important with comics because he actually kicked off like the Silver Age of comics, and which is kind of like one of the most important ages. That was like all the early 60s.
Yeah. That was the big boom.
Yeah, that was it. Like, and he kicked it off, which he first appeared in Amazing Fantasy number 15, which was what was that? August of 1962. Yeah. I think what Spider-Man is so cool because Spider-Man was actually also one of the first superheroes, at least with Marvel, that his secret identity was super important. Like keeping his identity of who he was as a day-to-day person was really important to Spider-Man because of his relationships with Uncle Ben and Aunt May and MJ and all of his, you know, friends and stuff like that, because he never wanted to put them in harm's way in any.
Right. He didn't just put on like a ball cap and sunglasses and was just like, this is a disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do the go-to Marvel thing in the MCU where you could always disguise yourself with a baseball hat and aviators.
At least his disguise wasn't putting on horn-rimmed glasses.
Yeah, that's true.
Clark Kent.
That's
like,
true.
Boom. Lo and behold, that he is a jacked human being.
Yeah.
That he's as wide as a ship brick house, and it's like, oh yeah, he puts on glasses. Oh, Clark Kent, what a nerd.
Yeah.
On a side note of just like disguising yourself, during like COVID, when I had to wear a mask everywhere, I did have moments where I would have my ball cap on, my sunglasses, and I just acted like people were like looking for me. I really did that, and it brought me joy. So
I've been I've been watching that show Invincible.
I need to hop on that. I've been hearing it's great.
And there's a part, it's not spoiling anything, where like a lot of the superheroes all go to high school together, and one of them is like, yeah, how'd you not know she was a superhero? Or how does nobody know you're a superhero? And she's like, nobody expects a superhero just to go to school with you, so people will just naturally not think about it because they see you day to day. And I was like, that's kind of a good explanation. Yeah. But then as soon as like people find out, they're like, yeah, how did I not know? Like, it's super obvious that you're
so obvious.
Person. Yeah. Yeah.
And like they didn't do that with Peter Parker because he kept his awkward nerd moniker as Peter.
Yeah.
Because he was still into science and photography and these things that weren't, especially, I mean, at the time, weren't the coolest things to be involved in.
Yeah.
Although in Homecoming, he really didn't have too much of the whole camera and stuff, behind that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, the other ones they
very
did.
true.
Homecoming, he
Yeah,
didn't.
they really, and I think they ran. I guess I didn't think about that. They really ran with the more science thing. So I'd be curious if they ever had the opportunity to bring in the Bugle, if they decide to run this character long term.
Well, the Bugle.net is in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this is weird little side tangent. There's screenshots from the new, Morbius movie that's supposed to come out.
Yeah.
And in that, there's a part where you see a newspaper and it's the Daily Bugle. So now it's like, okay, either the Daily Bugle does exist in this universe or Morbius is actually taking place in a different Marvel universe.
Yeah, and there's
is a
debates
lot of
on
people.
whether
People
what they're
think
gonna do
he
with
takes
it.
place in the Tobey Maguire universe. So
Yeah.
we'll find out with this new one. Marvel's still denying that they're doing a huge multiverse crossover thing, but I mean they're bringing in freaking Alfred Molina and Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx.
It's gonna
yeah.
happen.
So it's
gonna
happening.
It's a matter of
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do a Spider-Verse. Like
Yeah.
why would they not cash in on
I know.
that when the cartoon was? Can we all agree that's the best Spider-Man movie?
That's
We
the
all
best
agree
Spider-Man
that's
movie.
probably the best
Into the-
superhero movie there is.
Yeah. Yeah, Into the
Yes.
Spider-Verse is amazing. So
It's so good. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So in prep for this episode, like just lo and behold, just full disclosure, I didn't watch it before this because I can't fucking find it without paying for it. And I'm
Same.
cheap.
Same here.
So
I
I
didn't
got
either.
bills and
What? I
didn't-
paid for it. What?
I was like, I'm not paying for this. I've watched this movie like
I've seen
probably
it.
like 4 or 5 times at
Yeah.
least.
Aaron, did you pay for it?
I own it.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm like, yeah,
All
that's
right.
the movie I watched before Luca.
It's one of the few
I was ready for
Marvel
it.
movies I actually don't own on Blu-ray. So
What real?
I own. They're the only Blu-rays I buy are Christopher Nolan movies and Marvel movies. Like, I know. I didn't want to admit it, but then Lance and I were talking, and then I was like, I'm just gonna admit that
Yeah,
I didn't.
I got to
watch
put it on the table. I want to make sure we're aware. I still did research. I did a bunch of reading. I did all
I
the
did
things
too.
I should have done. So we're gonna be fine. But the whole Sony Marvel deal and screw me over from not getting on Disney Plus is bullshit.
Yeah, they are coming to Netflix though soon. They broke a deal with Netflix, so all the Spider-Man movies will be on Netflix.
Yeah, you know what that includes though? Both Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield.
Okay, so like let's talk about the history of Spider-Man in the realm of movies. All right.
Okay.
I feel like this is a good
Okay.
segue into that.
Okay, first off, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies 1 and 2 are fucking amazing. They're great
Absolute
movies.
masterpieces.
They're
Two
so
is
good.
phenomenal.
The third one-
Until Into the Spider-Verse, 2 might have been the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
yes, agreed. The third one would have been good, but
If
Sony
Topher Grace wasn't Venom.
Last
Sony
option.
forced Sam Raimi's hand. He didn't want to put Venom in. He was like, "No, I'm not doing Venom. Like, I'm not doing it." And they were like, "You're gonna put Venom in it." So he just shoehorned in, and I think Sam Raimi did it on purpose. I still think Sam Raimi made a bad movie
Yeah.
on purpose.
Maybe I could see that.
Like, he really.
think it's like-
just- yeah.
And the thing is, he still did a lot of like typical Sam Raimi things, and
I'm gonna keep
he-
dancing until
I'm-
someone acknowledges it.
I'm letting you dance, dog. I'm letting you dance. He did a lot of like typical Sam Raimi things in like
Yeah.
the character design,
Mhm.
which makes it look like he didn't phone it in and didn't half-ass it, because Venom as a creature looked a whole lot like Sam Raimi was created him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those typical like real effect things that Sam Raimi does, but I tend to agree. And then the fucking dancing.
The fucking dance scene, which they make fun of in Into the Spider-Verse.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a good comedic moment. I agree that the first two of Sam Raimi's Spider-Verse, great.
They say
Third
that
one.
a hero can
Can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Oh, Nickelback, what's up? You listening in? No, you're not. All right.
That was supposed to be like the summer hit when they released Spider-Man 2, and like everybody was just like, "Oh my god, please stop with this song."
Please stop.
Please stop with this Nickelback.
I did enjoy, obviously, Sam Raimi's Spider-Verse with fucking Tobey Maguire, who looked way older.
Yeah.
Than any Spider-Man should.
But to be fair, other than that, he physically fit the part.
Oh yeah, he physically did, and he was nerdy. He was like I liked him.
Like I still look at this day, and I think that I can beat him up. So like,
who can't? Who do you look like that you can't feel that way about?
Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah.
Tim Kennedy would destroy you.
He'll rip my eyes out, and I'll enjoy it.
Tim Kennedy wouldn't even fight
you. It's a weird
thing. He would
thing.
shoot you from a far distance and call it a day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The guy's phenomenal. Anyway, so after that, we
come into The Amazing Spider-Man, which
Mark Webb's, which I still think he got the job just because his name is Mark Webb. I think I wouldn't even say this movie's divisive. Everybody hates those movies.
I fucking love those.
I love them.
Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. I will say it right now. I will put it into the universe. I don't give a fuck. Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man.
I'm not sure he's my favorite Spider-Man, but this is by far my favorite Spider universe.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Into the Spider-Verse, because it's a whole separate thing. But out of the live-action universes,
agreed.
What they were building is my absolute favorite. They were building up to the Sinister Six. There was so much cool shit going on. BJ Novak was in there.
Yep.
It was awesome. Like Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
Yeah.
Like so many cool things going on. I dug it. I'm still into it.
Gwen Stacy's death
is still one of the most heartbreaking things ever.
Now we have talked. The three of us have had a lot of talks about this, but like Aaron, I want to hear like what do you legitimately think about the Amazing Spider-Man movies in itself? Because me, CJ, and Jeff are practically part of one person.
Yes.
Like if we could make a 3-person Jaeger, we would be the pilot.
Done. Yeah. I'll be the third arm. I'm the arm coming.
You're the chest cannon. Jeff and I got.
I'll take that. I'll take that. You want to give me the least amount of responsibility. I 100%.
And the most amount of destruction that works.
Yes,
that's how this works.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. So like, from an outsider perspective, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, they're good. Okay, am I saying that they are the best? No. In my personal opinion, I mean, they each have their different aspects that do bring in from the comic books into this. And just like we were talking about earlier, how, Peter Parker was towards that behind the camera, wanting to get all the photo shots, wanting to be working with the paper and everything. That was towards that area versus, Tobey Maguire definitely dipped into that too. But I do agree that he looked older and fucked than Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. But personally, I mean, my personal favorite out of those three is I do think Tom Holland is the best one out of the three. I know you guys are probably going to give me shit about that. But my reasoning for that is, first of all, is he is young as hell. He looks like that typical teenager kid versus Andrew Garfield. I mean, he was young enough, but he also, you could tell he was a little older, But I mean, out of the movies though, I will say that the newest ones, the Far From Home, honestly, is probably my favorite. But then it's not Homecoming. It actually is the first Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Okay. All right.
And
I respect that.
I do, even though I love the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I do like Tom Holland better than Andrew Garfield. And there's a couple of reasons. And one, I think that Tom Holland does a good balance of being the nerd when he's Peter, and then being the quick-witted, constantly throwing out quips and jokes the whole time when he's Spider-Man. Where Andrew Garfield was not believable to me as a nerd because he's a gorgeous man.
He's so pretty.
He's so pretty that I'm just like, you're not selling me on him being Like this nerdy, I just want to be left alone, and like, no, that guy would have been running that high school.
See, I think Tobey Maguire actually tried too hard to try to be a nerd and couldn't do it as well. But Tom Holland did it very well.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with all of that because I was a very nerdy individual in high school.
Oh, we know.
You all know. All right. I didn't run the high school, though I was cool, but still got into my nerdy shit. All right. So I'm like, you can be super nerdy and also run the high school. All right.
But I think just as Spider-Man in itself, right? Because we have the intro story where you have a year or two where he's in high school, and then we have adult Spider-Man, which is the one we know and the one we love and the one we're going to continue with for the long term. And that's what we were building for those two movies. Mm-hmm. And I think that Andrew Garfield being that quick-witted, snappy comment Spider-Man, I think he crushed that better than Tom Holland by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice inflections, the way he's able to roll things off the cuff. I think he's I might be putting my foot in my mouth, but I think he's as an actor just more like naturally comedic and has a better comedic timing than Tom Holland does.
Well, he has a lot more training. He has a lot more training than Tom Holland.
True.
Okay.
Like he's an older individual. He's been through the ringer. So I definitely feel that. Tom Holland had a physicality that, I mean, he did his audition doing backflips, reading lines,
which is my favorite story. I love it so much.
It's the fucking best.
Like, Spider-Man comes in and does a flip and then lands and then talks to Tony Stark and he's like, oh, okay, so you want me to do a flip? And they're like, huh? You're just like supposed to pretend, and then he just does the backflip like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. I mean, coming into an audition, the dude fucking crushed it, and he's doing a great job at being a teenager, which in the current universe, he's still a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, we're not having that Spider-Verse like he's an adult now. We're just seeing that, which within Sam Raimi, fucking Tobey Maguire had to grow up, even though he already looked 40 years old.
Yeah. And they had to force that. They had to rush him out of high school. So when it comes to Andrew Garfield, the dude's just fucking handsome. Like, he's a handsome dude.
Yeah.
So
and I honestly liked him and Emma Stone's chemistry because they were actually dating in real life. So their chemistry was like probably the best romance.
I didn't know that they were actually dating.
Yeah, they were dating through both movies. So like their chemistry was on point for me. Like
that explains a lot then.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll bring it back again. Emma Stone's death as Gwen Stacy is one of the best deaths in the MCU. It's the best. It's the best. It's the best. Fuck it. It's the best.
I remember watching and I'm thinking like, I do not think they have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. Because they teased it in Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
When she's fallen and he's jumping through all the things and he ends up saving her. And I was like, dude, there's no way they have the balls to do it. And she's fallen. It's slow motion. It's all cool. He's going around the gears and then BOP!
Yeah.
They did it.
And the fact that we'll never get that payoff of him coming back from that, it's always going to haunt me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, originally they had shot a scene where they introduced MJ at the end of the movie. And it was played by the girl from
New Girl.
No.
Zooey Deschanel.
What were those movies? They were kind of like we'll get back to it. I can't remember right now.
It's just Emma Stone with the red hair.
Yeah, they just
it's a color swap. It's all it is.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but I mean, that being said, with everything, like, I still think Tom Holland's doing a great job. I still think these are movies.
No, I think he's still a great Spider-Man. And to see him as he looks up to Tony Stark and how much he looks to him as a father figure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful relationship they've built.
It's great. And to see that kind of build and to how much he's like, well, I got to do this, guys. All right, whatever. It's very nice.
I just don't want to see them take him and try to make him become the next, not Iron Man, but that big. I don't want to see them go that route because I think they're going to try too hard. It's going to end up failing, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Aaron, I see what you're saying, and right now with what they're doing within the TV show cinematic universe, I don't think that's the route that they're going.
And
not that I don't think they will go that route, but like Falcon is about to take over.
Yeah.
And then at some point when Tom Holland is of age, when he can have a beer,
yeah, exactly.
That could happen. But now,
there's a whole ultimate storyline where Spider-Man ran part of the Avengers.
Yeah.
These were kind of split up and he ran his own section in the Avengers. It's in the the Ultimate Avengers storyline.
Yeah.
And he was a major player, as one of the leads and one of the bosses. But that's when he's a full-fledged adult and he has been through the ringer. We are talking aged and seasoned Spider-Man who has seen everything, who has seen death, who has seen loss, who has come back from it. The death that had been lost had been caused by his own hands.
We're talking Spider-Man laying on a couch, eating a pizza, being like, I'm working out, getting strong. We're talking that. We're talking that Spider-Man who has seen the shit.
Yeah, he's gone through everything.
Right now he's not. He's been he's excited to take Cap's shield. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you died in the blip, but you didn't see the shit. You didn't live through the blip.
Yeah. We need Spider-Man that has seen the big picture, that has gone all the way.
We need Hulk X Spider-Man, the guy who's just fucking. That's it. That's all he has.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree.
Shailene Woodley. She was in the Divergent series.
Oh yeah.
She was. They actually filmed her scenes as MJ, but they ended up deciding to cut the scenes.
Wow.
And that was after the whole big Sony leak, and then that's when everybody found out because Erin, the director, and Andrew Garfield had no idea they weren't continuing. He thought he was ramping up for Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And then when the big Sony leak happened, they were like, yeah, we're going to scrap this and we're going to go with the younger Peter Parker. And that's how he found out, which was kind of shitty. And
that's super shitty.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Do you guys
Let's hope I don't hear about that, about BB and Gambit. Kevin Feige, me being Gambit.
Don't worry,
I'm Gambit.
Marvel doesn't leak, but Sony definitely leaks shit.
Sony will.
But I just want to make sure they're listening to this about me being Gambit, which is something I'm going to plug all the time now. So
yeah, I dig it. Let's do it. Let's run it.
So do you guys know the big deal with Sony partnering with Marvel and how they've redone their deal so many times?
It's confusing. I don't get it.
So basically, they got screwed out of all the earnings Sony did on this movie because, what was it? They were only making 5% on the dollar for every piece of merchandise that was being sold, while Marvel was basically pocketing everything. So
for Homecoming?
For Homecoming.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they did the revamp and was Sony was we're going to pull him. And that's when everybody was in a standstill there for 2 weeks. Everybody's holy shit, are they just going to get rid of fucking Spider-Man in the MCU? And they had to come to a deal and up it. And then they also made Marvel back $37 million for the next films because they were we're putting in all the money and you guys are taking all the money off of the merchandise because that's, honestly, how a lot of these companies make their money. Spider-Man toys are going to sell like hotcakes to kids. So Marvel was kind of being shitty with it, but they finally came around and was all right, yeah, this is kind of screwed up and gave Sony the amount of money that they should have been earning from these. So, because it is their IP at the end of the day, they own him. So,
yeah, for sure. And it was, and with everything that Marvel was building, it's such a gift from Sony for them to be able to use this and be able to incorporate this and incorporate and make a tie that everyone knows and everyone understands.
Yeah, because he's him and all of his associated characters, which is like a universe of hundreds of characters, is the only thing Marvel doesn't own now. They own everybody else now. They have all the X-Men, they have all the Fantastic Four, all that. They have that all back now. So,
I mean, in relation to them owning all of the X-Men, Kevin Feige cast me. Cast me as Gambit. Let's do it. It's fine. I got cool hair. Continue, Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to break down the cast, man? So we've talked a lot about Tom Holland.
Yeah.
You have Zendaya as MJ.
Zendaya. I love her so much. Like her in what's her HBO show?
Oh,
Euphoria.
Euphoria. Yeah.
Euphoria. She is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, as such a young person portraying like fucking massive drug use and how to properly deal with that, she crushes it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like she is so good, and it was so nice to see her in just like a nonchalant, weird character that was just like, oh no, I'm just here to hang out.
Yeah.
That's it. Fucking so great.
I love that.
I agree.
I love that Watts, the director, based her character on Linda Cardellini's character from Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if anyone watched that show, but I love that
I
show.
did not know that, and I love the fact that I know that now.
Yeah, so a little tie-in there with Linda Cardellini already being in the MCU. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all. Honestly, the whole MJ thing that threw me off. I didn't see that coming. When she was like,
I didn't
just
either.
Call me MJ, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
I saw it. I saw it immediately.
No, I did not see it coming at all. Like it definitely threw me off.
I didn't see it, and then got a little sad when I realized that there is no Gwen Stacy and they can't kill her.
Maybe they still got time.
Yeah,
they still got time.
For sure. I mean, and there's a whole new timeline because 5 years had passed, and he's still in high school. So it's a totally new field that he gets to work with.
A whole new world.
Emma Stone still looks young. Let's just go ahead and cast her and kill her.
All day.
The second love interest.
After I watched La La Land, I'm okay with killing Emma Stone a couple times. You know, whatever.
Nice.
I have a hot take on La La Land, okay, guys, but we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, I mean, then there's a lot of great cast. I mean, the kid that plays Ned.
Oh yes,
yeah, amazing.
It as a best friend,
which is kind of cool because Jacob Batalon. So that's not a character from the comics. That was just a character they made up for.
No, Ned is.
Not from which ones? Like Ultimate or
Ned eventually became the Hobgoblin.
I was going to say that's one of the fan theories that's out there.
Is that one of the new like Ultimates here? Yeah. I'm not up to date on my.
I don't know when it's from, but it eventually Ned Leeds does become the Hobgoblin. I will pull it up while we're looking here.
I know nothing about any of that, and I'm very interested to hear about all of it.
Ned Leeds was Peter's best friend and was released in 1964 for the first time.
God, I did not know that. I did not know that at all. He just must have been such a side character that I just never paid attention. Okay. So I'm reading it now. So they use Ned Leeds as a basis for the character, but he's not a direct pull from that character, which they've done that a bunch of times. So where they
and a lot of it
they kind of take from different characters to make it one character. So
and you drop a name and it becomes like it's like little Easter eggs, like here and there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can we talk about Hannibal Buress being the coach?
just being the coach that just doesn't give a shit. Just every gym coach we remember.
I love it.
I don't know. I was supposed to do this. I guess I'm showing you this video. Whatever.
War criminal or something, but I got to show it to you. It's a part of that state.
Yeah, that's the line. Yes.
Yeah, it's such a good line.
He's just great.
Speaking of that, we haven't even talked about this. Is the first like straight up comedy in the MCU. This is
throughout the entire part. Yeah,
this is a straight up comedy. Ant-Man had a little bit just because you got Paul Rudd. You know, it never ages. It's funny. And they had to
Never ages.
Never
Paul
ages.
Rudd never ages.
Does
He's a time traveler.
Pim
We all know this.
Yeah.
All that Pim particles that he's putting into his veins.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation.
No, Jeff, I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
there's
straight up comedy.
really
And, like,
parts of the entire thing.
yeah.
And we talked about this is when they start getting into like genre films, right? They
Yeah.
start doing things. This is after Civil War, and or not Civil War, Winter Soldier.
Winter
which is like which is a spy film, and they start digging into these genre films, and they realize like, oh, we can do this stuff, and
we
then
can
just
do
make
this.
badass gnarliness when it comes to Avengers movies, and it all works out. Everyone loves it. Nobody complains.
So I got to ask, okay, with this cast, you know, we can't forget, of course, the villain of this whole thing being Michael Keaton.
Fucking Keaton. Let's go. Let's go.
I will go on record right now and say Michael Keaton is my favorite villain in the entire MCU.
Ooh.
He's my favorite villain.
That's a big one.
Yeah, he is absolutely, because he's so relatable. It makes sense. And I take that with a grain of salt, because Michael B. Jordan is real close, because I love Aaron Killmonger so much.
Yeah.
But Michael Keaton, I felt for him. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the typical, and they pulled all that, all his story, like as far as finding technology and him running like a construction, that's pulled from the comics. They just found a really cool way of, once again, doing something they never do in disaster movies. Let's talk about the aftermath of New York. They never.
Let's talk about the working class man that's just like trying to
get by.
I got this dope ass contract, and I got to pay all these guys, and these asshole feds come in and are like, "We're pulling everything from you." Like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I got a family to feed, and if I got to do some sketchy shit, whatever. Like, somebody else was gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and like, of course, it's Michael Keaton, so like he's able to turn that dime at any time. Mm-hmm. Like the scene in the car on the way to the dance.
Oh,
you can watch, and they have the colored lights depicting like when it's green, it's on Michael Keaton because the Falcon was green, or Vulture was green.
Yeah,
but like the way he's able to turn on that dime as soon as his daughter leaves the car, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to talk with Pete for a second," and he's full on villainous.
Yes.
It goes from super sweet dad to full on villain like that. That's what you get when you cast.
And I will go on record here, and I know we're all talking about Marvel and everything, but I still think that he was the best Batman back in the 80s.
Oh, 100%.
I
feel you.
But with what he did for that movie, it made him even better for this one. And I agree with you, Lance. I mean, to be able to turn it like that to me, that's an amazing actor.
I mean, have you guys seen, what is it, Birdman?
Yeah. Birdman was
Fuck, is that movie?
I haven't seen that one.
They didn't kill her in that movie, but they should have.
Like, Birdman was rivaled that year with Whiplash, which I don't know why they were rivaled, because they're two very dramatic, different movies.
Both fantastic movies, though.
Both fantastic, but Birdman was supposed to be this one shot that happened all the way through, and it was beautifully done. And if you watched it, you could see the seams of just like how they would switch shots. But
quick jump cuts and blacks.
You saw him just switch in between just like a crazy dude to an actor in a moment.
Yeah.
Like I will go on and say right now, he was my favorite part of Spider-Man Homecoming. That's my number one. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I will get on that.
It was close for me, but I don't know why. I just love him so much. I had to go with Tony Revolori as Flash Thompson. I love him so much. He's such a dick, and he plays such a dick in the best way. Yeah. And he makes me laugh so hard. The only other movie I'd really seen him before this was that Wes Anderson, what is it, Budapest?
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel, which he was great in that movie. I love him. I like having a Flash Thompson who's not a big jock guy.
And I think like
they're in a science school, so he's just gonna be the rich kid who's thinks he's smarter than everybody.
Yeah,
so
and I think
makes sense.
They wouldn't have been able to do the jock Flash Thompson.
No,
because you guys it was 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
He punches that kid and calls him the F word, as we don't like to say.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't do that. No, you can't do that shit.
Yeah,
You can't do that anymore.
That's a little bit more accurate to modern high schools, to where like if you're in a science school where everybody's super smart, like a guy like that would just get, yeah, he would be gone.
It's money. It's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
It's money. That's all it's going to be. All it's going to be about.
Yeah. Like they would be like, he would get ostracized and just kicked out like right away. They would just be like, screw this guy. So sorry, I didn't want to say ostrich too hard there. I didn't want to scare Lance.
Oh gosh. Oh, not again.
I do want to talk about one last character that they did not bring up more, and I wish they would have, because there are cutscenes of this character and who they are.
Okay.
And I want to talk about Donald Glover.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have some things.
Our introduction to Aaron Davis, aka the Prowler.
The Prowler.
So we know my boy Miles Morales is in the MCU somewhere.
Yes.
Maybe he's like a little kid right now. We don't know, but that was them like letting us know like he's here and we're gonna bring him eventually.
Yes. Okay. So we have a whole lot of nothing for 5 years. The only thing we know about in 5 years is Black Widow did a lot of searching and Hawkeye or Ronan did a whole lot of killing. That's
and
what
then
we know.
Kevin Feige also lost his husband.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh wait, no, it's a Russo brother. It's a Russo brother.
Brothers lost his
That's all we know. And then he went on a date and he cried. That's all we know.
He cried.
Right.
I think he cried after they brought the salad. I can't remember. But anyway.
He cried after the salad.
After the salad.
Which I get it. That would be terrible. And I would do the same. I get it.
We have no idea what happened in 5 years. You know what? I want to think happened in 5 years. A little kid that goes by the name of Miles Morales got spider powers and spent 5 years working and learning and trying to figure stuff out. And then by the time that 5 years passes and you get a full high school senior Peter that can help mentor a possible like sophomore kid, and then in a couple years make the break and we have a full-on Miles Morales universe. Now, I don't know who owns the rights to Miles Morales.
Oh, no, Sony does.
Does Sony still own him?
Yeah, Sony owns him.
Okay, because if Marvel would have been smart, they would have bought that up and then just killed off Peter Parker. and gone with it.
We're like, fuck you. We have our own Spider-Man.
I want that so bad. Being my personal favorite of all the Spider-Men is Miles Morales' Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The story's dope with his uncle and everything and his dad. And there's a lot of connections there and it's awesome and it's cool. And I want more of it. And I'm like, got my fingers crossed and hoping that we can see it. But that's the one way that this could work out in the long run.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then by that time you get like an Iron Lad that grows up and we get like a junior Avengers.
They're already they have to be setting up the Young Avengers. We have Bishop coming.
Yes.
Okay. We have I'm not going to spoil WandaVision, but possibly her 2 kids maybe because it's kind of ambiguous.
Iron Lad,
which could be the kid that he mentored in Iron Man 3.
The annoying kid from Iron Man 3.
Like we could have Young Avengers. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a Young Avengers. And I think we're gonna get a West Coast Avengers movie.
I would love it. I'd be so excited.
Then
we get like a Kamala Khan.
Oh yeah.
Which would be flawless timing.
Oh, they've already casted her.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, they already casted her for the Miss Marvel movie.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, because they're doing what's it called? The Marvels. Yeah.
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 Okay.
They've already casted her. So we're setting up the Young Avengers. Like they have to be. Like it just makes sense. I do want to real quick. I want to talk about not Tom Hardy and not Dave Chappelle. Work with
the bro Dave Chappelle.
Exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, freaking Logan Marshall Green and
Bokeem Woodbine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Those 2 guys both look so much like Dave Chappelle and Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
When I saw Logan Marshall Green, not in this movie, because I figured out who he was right away, but when he was in Prometheus, the whole movie, I'm just watching it. I'm like, is that Tom Hardy? I think that's Tom Hardy.
He looks like a diet Tom Hardy.
Yes, he is.
He's like, it's like Tom Hardy, but not full flavor.
I saw a picture
I
of
think
him with a beard, and he looks exactly like him. Like they cloned Tom Hardy somewhere.
I find it so funny because a buddy of mine that I know here played Tom Hardy's double in whatever FX show that he was doing. My buddy Josh is way taller than Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's a short man. He's a short king.
Short king.
Right?
Short king.
He's a short king. My buddy Josh is like 6'1", but first of all, Tom Hardy's afraid of water, so he won't go fully submitted.
I get it.
Fun fact. And he played his body double in whatever FX show. I don't remember what it's called. All the like photos and promotion you saw was my buddy Josh. And he met Tom Hardy on set. And Tom Hardy was just like, "Oh, you play me? All right. All right, cool. Let's see if I can get in down here. All right." It's a fucking weird voice, just like super high. Yeah. So, yeah, Tom Hardy's afraid of water. Tom Hardy, if you're listening, sorry. Love you.
But is
and I want to meet you someday.
Green afraid of water? That's what we need. So he
could be. Are scorpions afraid of water?
No, he's Shocker.
No, not Logan Marshall Green. Bokeem Woodbine is.
Yeah.
Well, Logan Marshall Green got killed, and then
Bokeem became Shocker.
Because he was going to walk.
Scorpion's introduced at the end of the movie in prison. He had the big scorpion tattoo on his neck.
But he's also on the ferry. He's the one that meets Vulture on the ferry.
You guys both should have watched this movie.
Yeah, we're probably right. Moving on, boys. One person I really want to talk about is probably my favorite Easter egg in this whole movie, which is Kenneth Troy.
Oh.
Who is the principal of the high school. Who is the great grandson of Dum Dum Dugan from the first Captain America movie.
Oh shit!
Played by the same character, or played by the same actor.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Great grandchild of Dum Dum Dugan and the Howling Commandos.
Yep, and we also
That's fucking awesome.
We also get Martin Starr, who is reprising his role from the random dude in The Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Feige made that canon that was him. He worked there, and then he became a teacher at the high school. That is canon. So, yeah. Did you guys realize who did Karen's voice?
No.
Paul Bettany's wife,
Jennifer Connelly.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
also, didn't know that they were married.
Yeah,
they've been married for a long time.
I mean, I don't know anything. I just work. I don't know.
Pay attention to stars' marriages for some stupid reason.
I don't know why I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I even care. So, yeah, we've been going for a while, guys. I figured we would with all of us on. So, let's take a quick break, and then we come back. We'll give our final thoughts and kind of wrap this up. Sound good?
Jay, sounds good to me.
Yep.
And we are back. Yeah, I realized I definitely left the desktop audio on. I clicked the wrong ones. I need to reorganize them. They're labeled too, and I don't know how I.
Nice.
I mean, oftentimes I mislabel how we're ending the stream, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit this button. Sober or drunk, I still do it. It's just fine. I don't know.
So just to throw a correction out, I was wrong. The guy, Diet Tom Hardy, is not the guy that played Scorpion. He's the guy that died earlier. But when they meet on the ferry, the guy that instantly makes contact with Michael Keaton has a giant scorpion tattoo on his neck. And he is Matt Cargan, who eventually is supposed to become the Scorpion played by Michael Mando. I apologize that I mislabeled it. Either way, though, if I can get more of the Scorpion, I'm into it. I want more of Spider-Verse MCU.
Yeah.
When is The Rock coming into the MCU as the Scorpion King?
The same time that Brendan Fraser does.
Oh man, bring back Brendan Fraser, guys. Let's just
Bring back Brendan Fraser.
Bring back Brendan
Fuck, dude. He was killing it for a while, and now he's weird and fat.
Yeah, well, he went through some stuff. We're not going to go on a downer, but
This would be sad. It'll get real
it's sad.
It's,
I know.
It's super sad. We'll just say that. So, I feel like we pretty much hit all the cast. For the most, Marissa Tomei once again coming back as.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Why?
the best, like May Parker ever. Like
Only because she's not.
yeah,
She's
she's also a great actress, but God,
She is.
got it going.
But like in everything, I never thought that I would have the hots for Aunt May. She's supposed to be like this sweeter old lady, and I'm like, bro, I get where Happy Hogan's trying to get at, man.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Pull one for the entire MCU.
I
Like,
mean,
let's hear
I don't
about
want
it.
to speak about my personal things that are happening in my life, but specifically, that's where I'm going right now.
Okay,
God damn.
you're dating Jon Favreau.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Good
Fuck,
for
I
you,
didn't mean
man.
to announce it right now. God damn it.
Well,
Yeah.
he's about to
Get
be
out
a really rich man because I'm pretty sure Disney just put him in charge of
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh,
Oh.
John,
He's gonna have complete
he's
full creative.
super shy right now.
control.
He's not going to come out.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, guys. I thought he was
I-
going to say hello.
I get it though. He's funny. He's creative. He's a phenomenal cook. You do you, boo.
Yep.
I get it.
Thanks, guys.
He is a great cook. He made a whole movie about it.
He did. That he
Also
did.
a show.
That he did.
He also a show.
Oh, he has a show too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
After he made the movie, there was a whole show where he just like
Oh.
fucking chefed with people.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, I think it's a great way to start Spider-Man into the MCU. It was a great lead-off point. They covered everything and they needed to. They have phenomenal cast, phenomenal villains, good comedy, good timing, and a great intro to what we now accept as our new Spider-Man. And so many Easter eggs, so many ways they could take it. Either way, I think it's a success.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would
know-
also agree.
I know Dylan O'Brien at one point was actually up for talks to get the role. He's the kid from the Maze Runner movies.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
the main kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he would. He still looks very young, but I think he would have aged too fast. Like
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah. And I
Tom-
think they
Tom Holland's one of those guys. Like it's like me, where people are like, "You're like 33." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You look like you're 12," and I'm like, "All right, cool." Like Tom.
How
Holland's-
old is
Oh, he's
Tom
another
Holland?
Paul Rudd. Watch.
Tom
he ain't
Holland's
never gonna age.
22.
Yep.
I want to say. Yeah.
Okay.
I totally thought he was older than that. He's 25.
25.
he's 25.
He's going to be 40 years old, and he's still going to be playing this damn
Yeah.
movie.
And the one
Yeah.
reason, the one way I want to see what happens in the Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
Because if they could age him in the Uncharted movie and make him seem a little older, a little wiser, then I think we'll get it for the long run.
I'm so excited for the Uncharted movie, guys. God, I
I
hope
know
they
you
don't
are.
blow it. But
I know
video
you
game
are.
to movie adaptations haven't been the best. So
Doom. Horrible.
yeah, Resident Evils.
Yeah, we got a lot. That's a whole thing.
I mean,
Super
that's a
Mario
whole
Brothers was
nother-
awesome though.
That could be.
I
a
do
whole
love
other
Super
shit.
Mario Brothers. I still love that movie. I don't give a fuck about what
Yeah,
anyone
I don't
says.
care what it says. The Mario Brothers movie is great.
There's an uncut version online that has like 30 more minutes of footage.
What?
I would
Guess
watch
what?
that all day.
Bye, guys.
I'll send it to you.
Is it just Dennis Hopper talking to freaking Fungus? Because I would watch that. I'd be super into that. So
Yeah.
real quick, I mean, we didn't even talk about Robert Downey Jr. is in this as sort of the mentor. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like a huge plot point to the movie, and we didn't hit on it. I mean,
Well, what's there to say other than Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic?
yeah,
Hands
Yeah.
down, the best. Yeah, right there.
yeah.
He's carried the entire MCU on his shoulders for over a decade.
Yeah,
He's playing a dude that's playing another dude that looks like another dude.
Oh, also, just as a thing, I totally use that voice for one of the D&D characters. I really hope you guys play it.
I'm super into that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch it, and I'm excited to rediscover that. So
for sure.
That's awesome. Any last thoughts, guys, before we get to our rating?
No, I mean, I think we covered everything. I think it's a good way to start it. I'm happy. I was happy with the movie. I think it's good. And I'm excited to see where it goes next.
My one last thing that I just want to bring up is directly related to Michael Keaton, but his costuming was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
The flight suit, the helmet, like costuming is something. Oh, with the fucking fur.
Yep, that was
we don't talk about costuming a lot because a lot of these movies are costuming. Yeah. And you just expect it coming into it. But when it comes to a costumed character, they fit him well.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the ballpark.
Like that dude's
crushed it.
That dude's fit, as the millennials say, stellar. He was so good. And I think of all of these like villains or heroes that we do see within these movies, we expect and we see, we're impressed, cool. But this was one that was just like, they got it. Damn. They got it.
Yeah.
Costuming wise.
You expect like, I expect Thor to look like Thor. Captain America looked like Captain America. They have like their little nuances and their little subtleties. And like Captain America's like stealth suit where it's like dark blue and black, which is real cool. But this is the first one where you're like, damn, son.
Yeah.
Yo, and
I want that shit.
He doesn't even like wear it like he like shouldn't be. He's just like, oh, this is what I wear. That's it.
It's him.
Let's go.
He is the Vulture.
So I think costuming wise, one of my favorite costumes that I've seen in any of the movies.
Yeah.
So because it wasn't CGI, it was just literally good costuming.
Yeah. It was a badass jacket is what it was.
Which is something that, you know what, I'll bring up more in the future. I feel like costuming is something we haven't really spoke about.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to bring up. That's it.
I want to bring up one of my favorite scenes in the entire MCU because I think it's one of the most heartfelt and like realist scenes is the part when him and the Vulture are kind of having their first bout and he knocks all that like cement and shit on top of Peter Parker. And when Tom Holland cries out, that was like I was so sad for him. Like it was so sad. Like him, like you instantly like went from thinking, oh, this is badass Spider-Man to this is a 15-year-old kid.
Yep.
He's in a pile of rubble right now and how scared he is right now. And Tom Holland crushed that scene.
No, big time.
So good in that scene.
Good call.
Like I got teary-eyed like watching it. Like I remember just feeling like, holy shit, like that's really sad. And like that was amazing acting. Like that scene was so good. It was so good. And I just want to bring up like I mean, they kind of hit it on the nose, but the whole Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like him trying to swing through the suburbs, and they finally answered the question of what does Spider-Man do if he has to go through the suburbs if he's not in the city? And that is so funny to me. Like him just running through the backyards, just like, and then they even show the scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off of him running through it because this was very much a John Hughes inspired movie.
Oh, 100%.
There's a lot of
100% agree.
There was John Hughes written all over this film, which was great. And do you guys realize throughout this movie, we never see the typical Spider-Man swinging through New York. There's not one scene of the stereotypical, like we've seen 5 times before, of Spider-Man swinging through downtown.
Jeff, you didn't watch this movie, so
I've never seen it. No, there's not one.
No, you're right. I know you're 100% right. Like
but I've never seen him swinging. Yeah, you're right.
You never.
It's not the building to building swing that we've seen in previous movies.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
I think that's why this movie did so well is because it flipped everything on us. They were like, you guys have seen it. You've seen it all before. All right, we're going to change up everything. I mean, they changed up what we thought the characters would look like. They changed up plot devices. They changed up everything in this movie, and that's why I think it did so well.
And I keep in mind they also did actually give us some of that in Far From Home too, where he actually is swinging through the buildings and stuff. So they brought that back a little bit in that movie, but we don't need to discuss that yet.
And I think that goes with the evolution of Spider-Man as a hero.
Yeah, and him
realizing
him
what
learning
he
his
can
abilities. Do. Yes, he's got the confidence of Civil War on his back. He had the confidence of everything with Endgame, and once he gets to the point in Far From Home, like he's a little bit more confident in his own abilities.
Yeah,
and to be able to do stuff like that. So I'm excited once we get to that movie though too, because I have a lot to talk about with that one.
I'm excited to talk about that one too.
Yeah. So
this also gave us Martin Starr. Just like a quick shout out to how much I love Martin Starr.
Martin Starr is great. Silicon Valley will be one of my all-time favorite movie or shows. Like that show.
Drink coffee and hail Satan. Let's go.
Yep. Drink coffee and hail Satan. Like.
So that's the last thing that I would like to bring out before we finish this out.
Yep.
Aaron, you got any big final thoughts?
No, I truly enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where it's really going to take this and go from here. Far From Home is another good one, and going beyond that, it'll be interesting how they really bring everything into it.
Yeah. Agreed. So, I guess I'll start with so Aaron, if you're not aware, so we do a rating system of 0 to 6 Infinity Stones, and where we place this movie. When I first started rating these, I did want to rate certain movies too high because I felt like I was setting the bar too high and kind of hitting the things. But then I realized I just need to take the movie as is and not compare it to the other Marvel movies, even though that's kind of the premise of the rating. But I'm gonna give this movie a solid 5. This is a good movie. It's a good comedy, which I appreciate. It's a good it was the perfect way to revamp this character without hitting all the same beats and doing the same shit that we had just 3 years before this. We had literally just gotten Amazing Spider-Man 3 years before this movie was released. Yeah. And I think they knocked it out of the park. I think all the casting across the board is spot on perfect. There was nobody that it felt weak in the movie, character or actor wise. So yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a solid 5 for me. So, CJ, what'd you think?
You know, I feel a lot of things of what you're saying, and I agree with them. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I think that the way that they did this was so accurate and what was needed to put Spider-Man into the MCU, with the fact that they were just like, fuck all of the origin story. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that origin story better than anything else. So I'm going to give it a 4.
All right.
Lance, what do you give this?
I'm also going to go with a 4. Now, I think it's as I've stated a dozen times before in this, it's a great way to start it. It's a great introduction to who we now accept as our modern Spider-Man. The reason I'm giving it a 4 as opposed to anything higher is because Spider-Man resides in New York. You have all these weird sightings of Spider-Man, and then a bunch of kids from New York go to DC, and then Spider-Man shows up in DC, and it's not called out nearly enough. Like no one's talking about that much. It's brought up a little bit. We need to talk about that. Like, let's make sure we're aware of that. Yes. That's not a weird coincidence. He's following this one bus of children. That's the one gripe I have with this whole movie. Otherwise, I think it would get a 5 if they didn't go to DC. I would have given it a 5.
I'm on that.
Yeah, Aaron, what do you got?
Honestly, I was going to kind of agree with Jeff on that. I mean, go with a solid 5 on that because it's got comedy, it's got drama, it's action, it's a whole bunch of things packed into one. Does it have its faults? Absolutely, it does. But I think a solid 5 would be just fine on that.
Cool. Good.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Any last thoughts? Any last comments, guys?
I have no last thoughts on the movie, but I do have a quick question about next week.
Oh, yes.
So next week we've got a big movie coming up, but I mean, one of us is traveling that day. I'm around. Are we pushing this off until Thursday next week?
I'm down with that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thursday would be almost full 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on that note, Jeff, do you want to announce next week's movie?
Yes, the movie that I originally announced 2 weeks ago because I got the order all screwed up. Next week's movie is Black Panther. Ryan Coogler's Black Panther. Woo! Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
Very excited.
Yes.
I'm just excited to watch it again because I haven't watched it in a long time. So,
Dude,
Yeah,
I just can't
Disney
wait.
Plus has it, so I will watch it.
Oh, I can't wait to watch Michael B. Jordan and the coolest fucking character in the entire MCU.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I just fucking dig it. He doesn't say fucking, but like,
Ulysses Claw.
No, I'm
That's
just
who you're
feeling
talking
it.
About, right?
no, I'm just feeling it.
I'm just feeling
Ulysses Claus. So,
Coolest
all
moment,
right.
coolest character, coolest soundtrack. Done. See ya.
Yeah.
it. Yep. So, very excited. So, yeah, next Thursday, we'll probably shoot about this time again. So we'll be on Central Time. So yeah, 8:00 Central Time.
We're not going to be on Central Time. We'll
We're
still be
on
in.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Tennessee's a weird place. The whole state's split. So
It's split in more than one way.
politically and by time zones. All right.
Yeah. All right. On that note,
All right. Well, I love you guys.
love you, dudes.
Love you too, man.
All right. We'll see ya.
All right. Later, guys.